Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited about starting this new playthrough of Myst III Exile. If I can find the GIF, I'll put it up. I feel like this little girl. I love this GIF. It really does express how I feel. I have not played this, Myst III Exile. It's quite possible I have not played this since it came out around 2003, 2004. And I remember it being pretty impressive, so let's get started.
I realized as our group linked back to Dunny that we should not restore the city as we had planned. The once magnificent buildings lay in ruin, testament to the hatred that had consumed them. Too many people had fallen victim to that hate, to the prejudice and greed from which it sprang. Gazing out across the cavern, I decided to write another age, one that would help the Dunny survivors begin again, free from the tragedies of their past. So with my wife, Catherine, supporting me, I put aside that past to write a future. More than a year has gone by since I finished writing Relishon. I have a new daughter, who I hope will someday link to that age with me. And as I imagine Yisha meeting the Dunny, those brave men and women who are building a new life for themselves, I realize I've been given another chance as well. A chance to learn from my mistakes and leave the past behind me once and for all.
Breathtaking, isn't it?
That was so exciting. I love that intro so much. I love the music that Jack Wall did. That was so good. It really... I'll talk more later. Hold on, let's just keep going.
We call it Tamana. We moved here after Atreus finished writing Relishon. He wanted us to have a new home too. I'm so glad to see you. I told Atreus our paths would cross again. He was just going to grab something for your trip to Relishon, so he shouldn't be terribly long. Unless he decides to check over the whole house first, which means he could be hours resetting all his padlocks. But I know he was looking forward to introducing you to the Dunny, so he shouldn't be terribly long. Why don't you wait in his study?
This room is cool. And this is interesting. I like this kind of 360 degree, then I think you're supposed to just click on a spot and then move to it. Yeah. And then you get a 360 degree view.
You know, this trip is exactly what Atreus needs right now. I haven't been able to get him out of the house for months, ever since he found his journals out of place. But seeing how well the Dunny have settled in on Relishon should help him to finally relax.
Ever since I did what now? Huh. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool to give you a 360 degree view. It's like a combination between Riven and Real Myst, where you can have free roam. If I click on her, does she talk again? Hello? Oh, nope, she's stuck on a loop. She's a GIF! She's become a GIF now.
I'm sorry. The other door.
Okay. Sorry. No, she's stuck on a GIF again. Okay. What I was going to say was that opening, the letters of exile that popped up, it almost looked like a very similar effect to what you saw in the intro to Riven. Like when Atris holds up at the very, very beginning of the story, and Atris holds up the linking book to Riven, and you're starting to zoom into the screen while the words Riven appear. It looked similar to that. I thought that was that seemed to be an intentional nod to that intro, and I like that. Wow, this game is impressive looking. I like it a lot. I mean, seriously, what other game can you play? Can I close this? What other game can you play that has such a unique environment like this? My husband would probably tell me Dark Souls, but and that may be true, but I much prefer this. It's a good picture. He's studying a rock. I don't want to click. I'm afraid of clicking on something and like triggering Atris appearing before I'm done looking at everything. Wish I knew more of the history of some of these things. Those people aren't looking too good. What is going on here? Seriously. Whoa, what's happening there? Wait, whoa, come back here. Oh no, you discovered a dinosaur. Seriously, what is happening here? All this, looks like all this poisonous gas and stuff. And these people look dead or very close to being dead. They look skeletalized. If that's even a word. And this looks like that looks like Atris. Coming to a new land, maybe. Oh crap!
Well, my friend,
Ow.
I see you found the Relishan book.
Yes.
Catherine tells me you've been here for some time. I'm sorry if I've kept you waiting. But since we'll be gone a few days, I need to secure some of my things. And I also wanted to bring you this. It's a journal I kept while I was writing Relishan.
Thanks.
I thought you might find it interesting to read.
Always.
What I'd hoped to achieve. Compared to what the age truly is. Well, just let me get my keys to unlock Relishan and we'll be off. Oh, and I'm interested in hearing what you've been up to in recent months. No! No!
I love how my character is so daring that I will just, without question, just jump into a new world to go after this guy. In reality, I don't think I would have been so bold. Come back here! I'm disappointed though, because I wanted to explore Atris's desk more. That was what I was afraid I would do. I wouldn't get to see everything I wanted to do before this happened. Hey! Dude! Looking at me. figures. Oh well. I'm almost inclined to redo the intro of this game just so I can see everything in that office that I wanted to see, but oh well. Oh, I just had a sudden sense of overwhelm feeling. I'm looking around at this environment. It's like, I vaguely recall what to do here, but not entirely. What have I done? Am I even ready for this game? Okay. I do remember this puzzle. I remember lining up. There are like multiples of these, over there, all around the island. You're supposed to line them up and then stream light or color through them. Something like that. Ah, look at that. Found us. Oh, what's that over there? I wish I had binoculars. I wish I could take screenshots. Can I take screenshots? Is there a function to do? Wait, hold on. I've got a journal in my hands here. Should I go ahead and read that now? Let's get out of the sun. It's baking hot. Oh, interesting. I'm not really able to get out of the sun down here, though. I'm still very much in it. Huh. I want to get over there, too. Okay. Well, it looks like there's a stair over there. Let's see if I can find it. Ooh, wow. Sun glare. Here. Aha! Now I'm out of the sun. Mostly. Somewhat. Oh. How do I get there? At any rate, this looks like a secure, quiet little spot. Let me see if I can't... Okay, right click and look at the journal. How long is this thing? I really need to read the, okay, it's not that long. I really do need to read the books that the Miller brothers published with the help of someone. I can't remember now. I should read those, and then I can get all this cool history about these games. Okay, I'm going to read this out loud, and yeah, skip ahead if you don't want to hear this. Alright. Does that mean it's the year 2000 whatever 25? Interesting. It's the same year I'm in. Cool. I always feared this day would come. For years, Catherine and I have dreamed of restoring Dunny. We have dedicated our lives to the task, taking it upon ourselves to locate the citizens of Dunny and convince them to return to their ruined city and rebuild. Our dream has become the dream of so many now, and the progress we have made toward achieving it is something of which we all can stand proud. But I know now that it has been a mistake. The city of Dunny should not be restored. It should stand forever in ruins, as both a symbol of our past mistakes and a memorial to all who lost their lives when Dunny fell. The devastating events of recent months, the war on Tirani, and the death of Uta in particular, have driven this truth home to me quite forcefully. If we rebuild the city walls today, are we not giving approval to the very illness that destroyed our civilization in the first place? Are we not setting ourselves up to repeat that pattern again in future generations? I've put much thought into this tonight and have found only one solution. If we, the men and women who survived the downfall of Dunny, are to thrive, then we must break the pattern of hatred which has destroyed so many lives. We must begin our civilization anew, and we can only do that if I write us a new age. I've spoken with Catherine about this, and she agrees. I only hope the others will see it as well. No, it's not 2025, it's just a day. Maybe it's a futuristic alternate universe of 1993. Well, these people never cease to amaze me. I thought they would object to my decision. After all, most of them linked back to Dunny specifically to see the city rebuilt. But when I told them why we should not restore it, their response was immediate and unanimous. Whereas yesterday they thought only of rebuilding, today they concentrate solely on salvage. They intend to take from their ruined city only that which is best and move on. Everywhere I look, the enthusiasm for this new task is obvious. It heartens me even as I face my own monumental contribution. I've written many ages in my lifetime, from my first timid attempts under the tyrannical tutelage of my father to my most recent accomplishment, Averon. Never before has so much been riding on my skill. The age I'm about to write must be all I ever imagined and more. How am I going to achieve it? Catherine laughed this morning when she saw me drudging out my old notebooks. I must have made quite the picture, sitting near the embers of a fire, surrounded by countless commentaries and journals. Some of them seemed more dust than paper, but the hours I spent sifting through them was worth it. Ideas for what this new age might be are tumbling around in my head. There are almost too many to catch hold of. Obviously, I must choose some starting point as my anchor. Writing ages is a science, a precisely structured equation. That didn't look like a Q. A precisely structured equation of words. Every equation needs, as its foundation, an underlying concept around which the age can develop. In the past, I have written my books around whatever idea intrigued me most at the time. I wanted to discover how the age to which the book linked would manifest results of that idea. Sometimes civilizations had arisen, sometimes they had not. But whether a society had come to exist on the age or not, it was often in response to whatever concept the book I had written embodied. This time, my search for a concept must be weighed very carefully. I already have the civilization I wish to see develop. I know our history as a people and the paths we have followed to arrive here. Today I must write a book which will link to an age that will allow us to continue on our way, growing ever stronger as one people. What underlying concept must this new age reflect that will best allow our civilization to thrive? I fear I must think on this some more. Water break. Okay. How many days has it been? Oh, okay. Just a couple. Just a few. It has taken me some time, but I may have found my anchor. It came to me as I was considering what I know about the survivors of Dunny. We have seen so much tragedy in our lives, from the destruction of the city to suffering and loss of loved ones due to plague and deprivation. Yet even in the midst of these adversities, my kinsmen and I have found strength to keep going. We have tapped into our individual strengths and transformed ourselves into something stronger. It is a characteristic I have seen in several of my ages, whenever I focus my writing on the inherent energy sources in a world. Long ago, Grandmother taught me that no possibility for life in an age exists without the presence of energy. By tapping into its latent energy sources, an age moves out of stasis. It grows, transforms, and develops. Energy is the underlying fuel that powers all activity. To put it more simply, energy powers future motion. Yet, as Grandmother also liked to remind me, energy in an age takes on diverse forms. Each one has strengths and weaknesses of its own. How many forms will this new age contain? Which type will be its dominant theme? Tomorrow I will link back to Myst, and from there revisit several of my ages. Perhaps in my old worlds I will discover new ideas. Goodness, I wondered about that. I had almost forgotten how painful it is to revisit Myst. In the 10 years since my sons Sirius and Akinar left me trapped on Kavir Island and burned so many of my books, Catherine and I have rarely linked back. I told myself we were always too busy, first with writing ages like Averone, then with searching the ages of Dunny for survivors. I always said we would spend more time on Myst eventually. The truth is, I have been avoiding the age. Seeing the island in its current condition ignites such anger and grief. I am immediately reminded of the betrayal of my sons, as well as the cruelty and greed with which they plundered my ages. I know I am partly responsible for these acts. I constantly wonder if there were something I could have done to reach out to the boys before. Enough. Nothing can change the tragedies of the past. Like my Dunny kinsmen, I must salvage what is best and move on. Perhaps in the process I will find forgiveness and hope. Once again, I am back on Myst Island, having completed a lengthy sojourn through several of my ages. The trip itself was not as inspiring as I had hoped. The Selenitic age was especially disturbing, but has it not always been so? That age is a little creepy, I do agree. The very first time I linked to the age, its uninhabited landscape was shaking with tremors. At the time, I felt it was because the energy of the age was unfocused, as if it were at war with itself. Stability finally came, but even after it did, I never truly felt comfortable there. I missed the more natural balance of ages like Channelwood. Perhaps that is the lesson to take home with me. The Dunny, too, have faced much turmoil in their history. Their lives have been unsettled enough. Perhaps I should be striving to offset the energy that already exists within our civilization by providing it with a more stabilized environment in which to grow. An environment in which the natural equilibrium of the world serves as a counterpoint to the upheaval of civilization. The more I consider it, the more I wonder if I should make nature the foundation of this new age. Worlds like Channelwood attain equilibrium quite easily, primarily because of one reason. Nature encourages mutual dependence. As one life withers and dies, it provides nourishment so that another might live. Plants become food for other animals, and the waste products animals cannot absorb become nutrients to sustain the other plants. So long as nothing intrudes to upset this balance, nature can maintain itself indefinitely. An interesting metaphor to set as an example for my people. I think I will confer with Catherine on this subject. Her ages always exhibit symbiosis more dramatically than mine. Perhaps she should help me write this new age. I didn't know Catherine could write ages. When was that? Oh wait, no, duh. She wrote that age in Riven where all of the I forget what they were called. The people on Jungle Island, all those people, she wrote an age for them to live in and hide. Moiety, haha. Anyway. Whoa, it has been a few months? A few months have gone by, it would seem. I'm so tired, I can barely think right now. But I will force myself to stay focused, for I have not written anything in days. The moment I linked back to Denny, I was besieged with requests for my assistance. Master Taman wanted to consult over which stone cutters were worth salvaging. Hope I'm pronouncing these names correctly. Hold on, I need another water break. It's hard to read aloud for a long time. Why is that? Anyway. Which stone cutters were worth salvaging? And did I think the rock in this new age would be difficult to sound? That's a good question. Oma and Exile needed my opinion about a new history they had uncovered. Should they hold off on starting its translation? Or would paper supplies be scarce in the new age? Oh, that's another good question. There were so many questions needing answers, I barely had time to see Catherine. She, of course, laughed at my dilemma, saying that I had no one to blame but myself. Oh, that was supportive. After all, I was the one who encouraged the Dunny to start over. Naturally, they would look to me to keep them moving in the right direction, unless some other force stepped in to change that view. Her words made me realize a fundamental principle I had thus far been ignoring. All this time I'd been debating whether to make energy or nature the underlying framework for this age. But there is another equation to consider. An age based solely on the future motion of energy will face constant upheavals, most likely at the cost of tranquility. And an age based solely on the mutual dependence of nature can become so balanced over time it may cease to tolerate change. Yet to continue to grow as a people, Dunny civilization needs both. Occasional upheaval followed by periods of balanced stability. I have seen such situations occur naturally on several of my ages. Each time it was because I centered the writing around some dynamic force that I had decided to make prevalent in the age. Such forces allow the balance between forward motion and mutual dependence to fluctuate. As one concept takes precedence, the other proceeds until another force is... Wow, I'm getting confused here. His writing's a little bit deep today. As one concept takes precedence, the other recedes until another force surfaces to change things. As Catherine's insightful comment reminded me, dynamic forces spur change. Is it important that there are certain things highlighted? Is that going to come into play here at some point? I don't remember. I am too tired to think more on this tonight. Hopefully in the morning my thoughts will coalesce. What is happening here? Oh, my phone. My alarm. I'm actually playing pretty early in the morning, and I'd set an alarm to go off at 7:45, so I'd say it's really early in the morning. It's kind of early for me. I set an alarm for me to get up, but I'd gotten up before my alarm, and now my phone's telling me I need to wake up. Not needed today. Is that how you pronounce that word? Coalesce? I need to make sure. I'm insecure about this. Coalesce. Coalesce. Yeah, I did it. What does that mean again? To grow together or into one body. To unite so as to form one mass. To blend or come together. Okay. Thank you, dictionary.com. Not sponsored. Anyway, I am too tired to think more on this tonight. Hopefully in the morning my thoughts will coalesce. Catherine surprised me today. Apparently, while I was off visiting my ages, she linked Myst by herself. She did not say so, but I could tell that her visit had been painful. My voice was a little too chipper for that. Yeah, that would be painful to go back there. More than ever now, I am convinced we must find a place to begin again ourselves. Perhaps when I have written this new age for the Dunny, I will put some thought into where Catherine and I might live. I cannot believe I did not see it before. All this time, I've been struggling to describe the perfect age for the Dunny. I've considered and then rejected several underlying concepts which I felt might best set the course for their future. As if I alone could determine how Dunny civilization will grow. In my own way, I've become as egotistical as my father. You know what? That just a little bit of thought. That thought came in my head too. Just a little. It's like, you are not God, sir. In truth, I owe this realization to Catherine. Sensing my indecision about the new age, she led me on a walk around Dunny. Salvaging efforts were well underway, with teams of people scouring the ruined harbor district. As I watched my Dunny kinsmen deciding which parts of their culture to retain, I realized they do not need me to determine their future. They are quite capable of setting its course by themselves, regardless of what age I write. This realization has opened my eyes to the best way of approaching my task. I no longer need to worry about which underlying concept, energy, nature, or dynamic forces I should make prevalent in the age. Rather, I must strive to include them all. I must write a balance of systems into the descriptive book, enough so that the Dunny people will constantly be challenged to attain their ultimate potential. As grandmother often pointed out to me when we spoke about ages back on Myst, balanced systems stimulate civilizations. At last, I feel I am ready to begin writing this age. Indeed, I am eager to begin and have already come up with a perfect name. I know grandmother would have loved it. Of course, Catherine could tell the moment I turned to her that I had finally found my starting point. I babbled on excitedly for some time before I noticed the smile she was hiding. When I saw it enough to grow suspicious, she handed me one of my oldest age books. She must have picked it up when she linked back to Myst. Seeing the name Jnannggg emblazoned on the book cover, I could only shake my head. The one age I never got around to revisiting was the one that might have helped me the most. How foolish was I to have completely forgotten it. I think after I have finished this work, I should take one final trip, if only to help restore an old fool's memories. Alright, that's it. That's the end. It's good too, because I only have about 5 minutes left in which I can be here before I need to get ready for work. I think the world we're on right now is called Jnannggg. Am I pronouncing that right? I hope so. Okay. Well, I think with that 5 minutes, I'll actually go back and revisit the intro to the game, just so that I can look at more of the stuff on Atris's desk, and I'll kind of put it back into... Okay, I'm making an observation here. She just said that I knew our paths would cross again. Is she talking about that this is the first time since they left me to just fall through the fissure in Riven, that this is the first time she's clapped eyes on me? Wouldn't it be more like a, oh, thank goodness you survived. We hoped you would. I mean, yes, you went falling through a fissure, and, you know, as far as we knew, you would have gone kersplat wherever, you know, our Myst book had landed. gravity, y'all. That book came falling through the sky and landed in front of me. It didn't just float down to the ground, so I don't know how I survived, honestly. That seems like a weakness in the plot. Okay, let me continue. Okay, Jif Catherine, she also made another comment about ever since you found Atris's journals out of place. I wonder then, maybe we have had a relationship and she's just saying like it's been a while since our paths crossed. I found his journals out of place. I come out here, I come visit them often then, and I poke around his stuff enough to know that his journals are out of place. Wow, I have quite the relationship with them. I'm glad I'm reviewing this. Alright, let's continue. Okay, yay, alright. Let's look at all the stuff I want to look at. It's probably like only gonna be 2 things I can look at. See, I can't look at this, can't look at that, can't look at squat. Oh, I didn't look at that. That's a dead book. Or it's a book that's in the process of being written. It's not done yet. Isn't that, wait a minute, wait, hold up. Isn't that the Dunny number for 1? Yeah, am I right about this? Interesting doodads. Don't know what they are. This. I wanted to read this. Taman, thank you for responding so quickly to my request for Nara padlocks. As you know, security in Tamana has become an important issue of late. Perhaps I'm overreacting, as Catherine suggests, but the idea that someone may have been sneaking into my study, reading all of my journals, disturbs me. It was me, you guys. Clearly, I come over here all the time and poke around in your journals and know enough to know when they're disturbed. So yeah, it's just me, y'all. Cool it. I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. I need to eat. I need coffee. Anyway, sorry. After what happened to my library on Myst, after my own sons, Saris and Akinar, destroyed so many of my books, I've come to realize how delicate the link is to my worlds. I've never been able to repair those burned books, to link to each age and find out if the inhabitants survived. The padlocks won't change that situation, but they should ease my fear of trespassers considerably. Sincerely, Atris. Interesting. Yeah, I want to read that. It's too bad. Magnifying glass looking at nothing. I want to look at this. Okay. Why would you leave this picture here? Why would you want this constant, painful reminder of these sons that went rotten? It's a good question. I don't know that I could do that. Alright, clearly do not look at Relishon until you are ready to leave here. So I want to observe these pictures more. Looks like Atris and people tunneling into Dunny. I mean, yeah, you know, in his journal, he did make the comment about, you know, maybe I'm more like my father than I thought. These tapestries do kind of remind me a little bit of, you know, in Riven, how there were these gold scarabs in the big golden temple, and if you opened the scarab wings, you could have a little peep through and you could look at a picture that represented things that Gen would, you know, showing his like authority and power and influence over the world of Riven. this kind of reminds me of this, but at the same time, I know this is probably more for the sake of the game player to just kind of get a sense of history. This is impressive. This is like a big boat city. That's interesting. Alright, I think that's about it. Aside from this, I wonder if... Didn't they talk about diseases claiming the lives of people? This looks kind of like these people were diseased. I do not know. Alright, I think I've looked at everything. I feel satisfied that I haven't missed out on something. Alright, back to the game. Where it would be appropriate. But for now, the game started. Yay! Can't wait to continue, and I hope you'll stick with me. Alright, y'all have a good day. Bye.